The most submissive thing a human being can do is pay another person to teach them how to be dominant. If you are currently consuming alpha advice, memorizing scripts to hold frame, or learning how to manipulate a text conversation so you look like you care less, you aren't becoming powerful. You are being domesticated. Today, we are tearing down the multi-million-dollar architecture of online status advice, because what they are selling you isn't self-improvement. It is a carefully engineered behavioral trap, and it is actively rewiring your brain to fail. Let's look at the actual street-level mechanics of this machine. You're scrolling. A guy in a tailored suit tells you that if you don't aggressively dominate every room you walk into, you are biologically inferior, a beta, a pawn in the matrix. So, you take the advice. You walk into your office on a Monday morning. You pause for a slow, agonizing 3 seconds before answering a simple question from your manager because a podcast told you it establishes frame. Here is the uncomfortable, visceral truth. Nobody in that room thinks you are an alpha. They think you lack basic social calibration. They think you're socially inept. They are selling you a heavily commodified cartoon version of masculinity that does not survive in the real world. So why is this specific flavor of content so incredibly addictive? Why does it get millions of views? Because it hacks a very specific vulnerability in your nervous system, a concept we are going to call the phantom enemy. Here is a harsh social reality. True power is completely quiet. The most respected guy you know in real life, a mentor, an older brother, a guy who actually has his life together, doesn't sit around calculating his eye contact ratios. He doesn't memorize power moves. He just is. He is competent, and therefore he is comfortable. But online gurus cannot monetize quiet competence. It doesn't sell courses. It doesn't trigger algorithm engagement. To keep you watching, they have to invent a permanent state of war. They tell you that modern women are plotting against you, that your colleagues are trying to steal your soul, that other men are waiting to crush you. When you consume this content, your brain doesn't process it as advice. It processes it as an active threat. Your cortisol spikes. You are literally being stressed into submission. And when a human being is stressed, they are highly suggestible. You are primed to hit what is essentially an anxiety paywall, ready to buy the $500 course on how to be a top 1% man just to make the anxiety stop. Let's call this what it actually is, mass scale negging. You know the concept, giving someone a backhanded compliment to artificially lower their self-esteem so they desperately seek your approval. The entire alpha industry negs its audience. They look into the camera, tell you that you're weak, broke, and soft, and then position themselves as the sole arbiters of what a real man is. This is the exact same behavioral playbook used by cult leaders. Step 1, isolate the target. Step 2, convince them the outside world is hostile and doesn't understand them. Step 3, offer a secret forbidden knowledge that only the inner circle possesses. Think about a Tuesday night. You just got home from a job that drains the life out of you. You're sitting in your car in the driveway, the engine turned off, staring at your glowing phone screen in the dark. You watch a clip of a guy screaming about how you need to conquer your reality and crush your enemies. In that solitary, exhausted moment, the fantasy of sudden absolute dominance feels like a drug. You don't want a long, boring lecture on emotional intelligence. You want a weapon. And they hand you a plastic sword, pat you on the head, and charge you a monthly subscription for it. But let's look at the actual measurable outcomes of this advice. The guys who internalize this stuff don't become apex predators. They become deeply paranoid. They start viewing every human interaction as a zero-sum game of dominance and submission. They refuse to compromise. They talk over people. They mistake being an abrasive jerk for being strong. And guess what happens? They isolate themselves. Their relationships crumble because nobody wants to date a guy who treats a dinner conversation like a hostage negotiation. Their colleagues avoid them. They end up alone, frustrated, staring at the ceiling at 2 a.m., wondering why the alpha blueprint isn't working. And what do they do then? They go right back to the guru. "It is not working," they type in the comments, and the guru replies, "That is because you haven't bought the advanced module yet. The matrix is just fighting back." It is a perfect, beautifully engineered closed-loop business model. They create the disease, they aggravate the symptoms, and they lease you the cure. True independence isn't about dominating the room. It is about not needing the room's validation in the first place. When you obsess over being the alpha, you are entirely dependent on the reactions of others to validate your identity. You are constantly scanning the room to see if people respect you. You are a slave to the audience. That is the exact definition of beta behavior. True freedom is the total absence of that anxiety. So how do you step out of this trap? You don't do it by memorizing another list of 10 habits to assert dominance. You do it by recognizing the game in real time. You feel it in your chest, the sudden spike of anxiety, the burning urge to puff your chest out and perform when a podcast clip tells you you're falling behind. Notice that feeling and let it go. It is not yours. It was implanted there by someone trying to sell you something. The moment you realize that genuine respect is earned through consistency, competence, and quiet integrity, the alpha illusion shatters. You don't need to bark to prove you're a dog. You just build a life that you actually respect and let the world adjust to you. Because the second you stop chasing validation, the power dynamic instantly flips. You stop reacting to everyone else's script and start running your own. That is the ultimate quiet rebellion against a system built to keep you weak. The truth is, people who aggressively demand respect rarely get it, but people who are comfortably detached, they pull respect like gravity. Make sure to subscribe, because my next deep dive on the power of being unavailable, how scarcity commands respect, goes live on Friday. See you in the next.